Hey folks, Jay with Jay's Cryptic Creatures here. In this video, we will be rehousing my Ybyrapora. I practiced the genus name several times. I just can't get it. It's quite a tongue twister and not a very common one in the hobby. As I mentioned before, we'll be moving this female into her intermediate home. Keep an eye out throughout the video. Definitely made a bonehead move on my part, and we'll discuss further at the end. So let's get this gal rehoused. On with the rehousing of my Diversipes. This specimen I received from Steve at Arachnoid Den, but unfortunately I can't remember the date. This species of tarantula is a medium to quick growing tarantula, reaching 4 to 5 inches typically. It hails from the regions of Brazil, and up until 2009 this species was in the Ybyrapora genus until it was moved over to the Ybyrapora. I will put the name on the screen as I keep butchering this genus. I keep referring to her as a she, but I have not gotten a good molt to sex yet. As a sling, I received it in a small dram vial, and I transferred over to a small herp cult container. Even as a small sling, she had really beautiful color and patterning, and it was quite vibrant. To be honest, this rehousing isn't necessarily needed, but there was some mold growing in the substrate, so I decided to make that move. Unlike many arboreal tarantulas that burrow, the Ybyrapora sling was a full-on climber from the start. I would feed her small crickets weekly, and at least my specimen was a very shy eater. Trying to get in focus just to appreciate those colors. Although she was a shy eater, she would molt regularly every 2 to 3 months for the first 18 months, with the last molt having just a 4-month gap. She is being rehoused into a 5 by 5 by 7 inch container with a bit of substrate and a piece of cork part leaned against the side, and a water bowl and some fake leaves. The care for this species is very similar to the Ybyrapora, and with that, it's important to note several things. One, this species does enjoy a bit of humidity. However, do not saturate the substrate, and you want really good airflow. A death sentence for this tarantula would be to have a swampy, overly saturated substrate with little to no airflow. This would create a very dank and stagnant environment, and you will most likely receive a dead tarantula at some point in time. I do want to note that this rehousing was a little bit weird, and I very much was second guessing myself, but we'll discuss that more here in a moment. So we had a pretty successful rehousing. The bonehead move on my part was about halfway through the rehousing. Something just didn't feel right. Arboreal tarantulas are usually a little bit quicker, kind of show signs of life. I knew this girl ate last week, so I wasn't expecting her to be in pre-molt, which ultimately she was. Again, she was very lethargic, really wasn't moving. Truthfully, at that point, I probably should have stopped. But we got her moved over, and lo and behold, the next day, I came down into the room, and she had molted. I'll put a clip up here. She is healthy, which is great. Unfortunately, my actions put undue stress on her, which, in the future, I need to be more vigilant and understanding and observant in what the spider is going through. But for right now, she's healthy. The rehousing was good. She has eaten since then. So, all things considered, we'll call that a successful rehouse. Please like, follow, subscribe, and let's continue to learn about spiders, snakes, and other cryptic creatures together.